going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that you guys are going to see on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you guys are okay with me talking about spoilers. So I think we need to start talking about Boruto's Next Sensei and Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. So I floated out in the past the fact that, like, hey, you know, Boruto does have this problem when it comes to his Boruto Shiki form. Essentially, when Boruto runs low on chakra, once it reaches a certain level, Momoshiki can take over, and you have to come up with some type of way to actually stop the resonance of the karma seal. And I floated out on a couple of occasions, like, hey, maybe the Byakugo seal can do it. Maybe Tsunade can actually be the one that actually saves Boruto. Maybe Tsunade can teach Boruto the Byakugo seal, and that actually stops Boruto. And in that last video, one of the things I talked about was the fact that, like, hey, you know, Boruto, on one hand, if he learns that jutsu, the problem is that typically learning the Byakugo seal means that you're going to be so exhausted that you can't actually carry out your normal day-to-day activities. That's why only Sakura and Tsunade have actually been confirmed to actually learn the jutsu. Maybe Mito, given the fact Mito had that diamond marker on her forehead as well. But I said, if Boruto can actually do what Sakura did and divert some of his own chakra that he stored into the seal back into his chakra pool, that Boruto should be able to continue training and going on missions while also doing his Byakugo training as well. And the next progression of that is, well, if Boruto's gonna go that route, doesn't it make more sense for Sakura to be the one that trains him and not actually Tsunade? Because think about it for a second, Tsunade is in her 70s, and while we have seen her in the anime step in to give advice from time to time, the fact is that Naruto is a trope. Tsunade's already filled her purpose in the sense that she's passed on her knowledge and jutsu to the new generation. So keeping in line with the trope of Naruto, it makes more sense that it's actually Sakura who takes up this training right here. And I think that's something that could actually work. I know some people want to see Sakura teach that jutsu to Sarada, but the fact is that I think that for Sakura to do this with Naruto's child, I think that that's absolutely beautiful, because Boruto, to a small extent, when you really look at it symbolically, he's trained with his father Naruto, he's trained under Sasuke, he's trained under Kakashi, now he's going to be training under Sakura. And so Boruto would have gotten training from all the members of Team 7. Symbolically, when you start talking about passing down your ninjutsu as a part of your will of fire as a Konoha shinobi, that is something right there where that's so beautiful. The 4 legends of Team 7 all training the main protagonist of the next generation. That's actually something that narratively works very well. Now, the problem that you run into when it comes to Sakura actually training Boruto is the fact that, like, look, you can't actually have Sakura leave the village because Sakura is too important of a figure, unless you have a scenario to where Shizune steps up and she runs the hospital, or Tsunade steps down and does that, or Ino steps up to the plate even further, even though Ino has the whole thing when it comes to the village security by running the upgraded system where they're able to keep up with chakra signatures, and they're able to use their mind transfer jutsu, and they're able to use their Yamanaka clan's ability to telepathically communicate with folks. Ino can't be the person that actually does it. So at some point, Shizune would have to be the person that steps up and not only runs the village hospital, she would also have to run those mental health clinics that Sakura has in each of the 5 great nations, which I talked about in my Legacy of Sakura video, which is in the After Naruto Shippuden playlist, which I recommend checking out. This opens up the door for something else as well. You get the opportunity for Boruto to experience a different level and a different type of training, because this is something much in the line with how Boruto's learning various jutsu from Sasuke in the Sasuke Shinden novel that Boruto can actually pick up on right away. This is training that Boruto would have to work diligently at over a sustained period of time. He can't actually learn the Byakugo seal overnight because of how advanced the chakra control training is, because that is the pinnacle of chakra control, and he would have to be storing chakra into that seal for a prolonged period of time. And so I think that that's something right there to where it actually adds more payoff to the actual story that we're getting. And so I think one final thing to actually keep note of on this is that it also opens up the door for something that we know happened during the blank period but we didn't actually see, which is Sakura training with Sasuke. Because let's say they do a rinse and repeat of what happened in, I believe, Naruto Boruto chapter 237 or chapter 238 where Naruto leaves in order to go train with Jiraiya? Well, if they do a rinse and repeat and Boruto goes off to train with Sasuke and they leave the village, we know from Naruto Gaiden that essentially Sakura had a period in time where she was traveling alongside Sasuke and Karin Uzumaki was there as well, but the fact is that we didn't actually see those travels, and so it would be something that makes sense if we could actually see them go on that training together, at least walk out the village gates as Sakura, Boruto, and as Sasuke, and Boruto's gonna be training under both of them. That's something that could actually work right there, and I've got a video that you guys should have already seen by now about the fact that I think that Sasuke should take a more hands-on approach in terms of training with Sarda. Both of these videos should be coming out around the same time, and so this is actually building on that video as well. But the fact is that opens up the door for the entire Uchiha family and for Boruto by extension to go on their own training arcs and do so together. I think that that's something that could actually work right there. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts on Sakura potentially training Boruto? Let me know down in the comment section below, but as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.